Today we are in a very windy Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, getting ready to head into this attraction right back there. That is the former orphanage. That's a whole different story. What's in there today is an attraction that's like a diorama, miniature soldiers showing different battles of the Civil War, but instead of being soldiers, they're cats. What do you think of that, Bobby? Yeah, they different twist on them. So we've never been in there, heard some things about it. We're going to go in and check it out, and you're coming with us. So are you ready, Bobby?
I guess.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll.
Civil War Tales at the Homestead. There's the history sign. The National Homestead at Gettysburg. Beautiful building. It's located right across the street from the Gettysburg Tour Center. Let's head in. Here's a brochure. First time I've seen the brochure for the place. Civil War Tales. I'm with Rebecca, and she is the owner of Civil War Tales, and she's going to tell us a little bit about this place.
Yeah, my twin sister and I own the museum. We've been making our dioramas for over 26 years now, and we started making the soldiers when we were 11. So if you look closely, all of the soldiers are cats, because we always had cats growing up. And so when I started getting into the Civil War, and I started making the officers that we liked, and then guys for them to command, and eventually we started doing dioramas. So.
Now there's more than just Gettysburg in here. There's all the battles.
Yeah, so traditionally we'll make dioramas of stories that catch our interest as we're reading. We always like the human interest stories. And so it's a lot of Gettysburg because that was always my favorite battle growing up. But there are other scenes also, like Fort Sumter and the battle between the ironclads and other lesser known scenes too.
Now, how long would it probably take you to do like one whole scene? Is there like a time?
It varies. No, I mean, just being a hobby, it's in our spare time. We figure our Pickets Charge diorama, which has about 3,000 soldiers on it, took us 5 years or so during college and afterwards, so whatever spare time you have during college. But simpler ones will be less.
Who's this little guy?
That's Kelly. So, enjoying one of her favorite treats.
All right.
So.
Okay, well, thank you for telling us all about it.
Yeah.
Here is the price to come in. $6.50 for adult, $5 for children, 5 and under, free. Let's just take a look. Pickets Charge.
Yep, so this is the angle. We've got the angle in the stone wall here, and then that's the copse of trees or clump of trees. So the Confederates would have started a mile behind you.
Yeah, smoke from the guns.
Yeah, I like how you did that with the smoke, with the cotton. And that's amazing. Let's see if I can zoom in on some of this. These are all little cats. Got the horses. Let's go look at these clump of trees over here. Through there. Wow. I guarantee you that took some time. And you can see they're cats. There is General Armstead after he was wounded.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the
There's General Buford. Now these are bigger because these are some of the owner's first sculptures. And our first ones are down here, is that correct? Robert E. Lee?
General Lee and Grant are the first two that I made.
There's
back in '95.
Robert E. Lee and General Grant and Lincoln. And Stonewall Jackson. Here's a scene from General Mead's headquarters. And these horses are pretty detailed. And Rebecca and Ruth made these also. Everything in here except those two horses right there. Let's just go in and see if we can see the... There's a cat riding a horse. So this is a scene from Skull Camp Bridge. And these guys are escaping the Union cavalry by jumping about 15 feet down into the water. You can see them. Looks like they're just flying through the air. There's when you make it down in the water.
Just look at the detail with all
Yeah,
the rocks, and looks like
Yeah.
they're just really getting into the water.
Yeah, that's cool. That is so detailed. Look at that. Here's the Virginian and the Monitor. And look at the stack. And those things open and you can see inside. Look at that. Wow.
The Monitor's got her revolving turret. Just don't fire straight ahead or you hit your pilot house. Straight astern, you damage the boilers with the concussion. And then we also have holes where you can see underneath the water.
Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah.
So down below you can see the copper-plated wooden hull of the Merrimack that the Confederates remade into an ironclad and named Virginia. But she's not actually ironclad underneath the waterline.
There's a story behind this display.
So that is Elmer, our great-great-grandfather, and he was 6 when the war started. He was 9 years old when his brother Luke died at Andersonville. Luke was in the Union cavalry, and he actually got captured twice. He was exchanged the first time, and then the second time, Union prisoners, the prisoner exchange had broken down, and so he was stuck at Libby and Richmond, and then transferred to Andersonville. So this is our diorama of Andersonville down in Georgia.
Do you know how old Luke would have been when he got killed?
21 or so. Yeah. Maybe 20.
So these scenes of fighting right there. The
Yeah,
prisoners
so-
are fighting each other.
Yeah, there was a group called the Raiders. They were prisoners who would prey on the weaker prisoners, or they might keep an eye on where new ones bedded down for the night and attack them overnight. It got to be such a problem that the prisoners complained to Captain Wirtz, the Confederate in charge, and he actually gave them weapons and permission to form a police force to round up the Raiders, and then allowed them to hold a trial off-site, so it'd be impartial, and actually ended up hanging 6 of the leaders and punishing over 100 other ones. So
Wow.
it was definitely a big problem.
Those are dead bodies stacked up.
Yep, waiting to get carried out. Starts in this shebang so that nobody knows where you're digging.
Start right
Keep
there.
it secret from everybody around you, and then they're tunneling under the wall. So there are actually 2 inside of the tunnel.
I didn't
The
see
one
them.
in the front will scoop the dirt to the one in the back who will pack it into a bag or a haversack.
See them in there.
Send it up the tunnel and somehow sneak it down to the swamp area to dump it out somewhere inconspicuously.
You left no detail out.
Well, it was great with this one because there was a prisoner who survived Andersonville, and he has there are a couple books of his writings and artwork that have been published now, and so you can see, you know, whether it's details like what an oven made out of the dirt looked like, and also a lot of the styles of shebangs that we have are based off of his pictures, and also just his stories, like the method of tunnel digging is from him. He mentions if you had a razor on you, you can set up a barber shop, and they'd even carve a pole to look like a barber's pole.
Wow.
Just different things like that.
This is Fort Sumter. Love how the fire, because the barracks caught on fire.
Yeah.
You have a lot of smoke going around that. That's some detail, and all these cannons.
If you look on the inside, the fire is threatening the powder magazine. So right now, anyone not manning a cannon is rolling gunpowder out of the magazine to try and get it away from the flames.
Right down in there.
So that story inspired us to pick this specific point in time for this diorama. Because just reading the story, you're like, I don't think I could roll a barrel of gunpowder with Confederate shells exploding around me, and going like, well, at least it's not the whole fort blowing up, you know. But let's
get back in.
We're able to make the diorama based off of photos that the Confederates took after the fort surrendered, so you can see what it looked like within a few days of the start of the war. And probably the coolest moment for us was matching the photo of these guns up with a story that Ruth came across as she was doing the research. Everyone's under orders to stay down below because you're safer, you're inside the building instead of up top, but the guns are smaller, so they're not actually doing damage to the Confederate position, so it's really frustrating. So 2 sergeants snuck up the steps against orders and fired a 10-inch Columbiad. Well, when it recoils, you need 6 men to run the gun forward again, because the barrel weighs 8 tons, much less the rest of it. So they couldn't do that, so they fired it a second time from the recoiled position. So this time, it flips over, almost heads down the stair tower, and knocks over the howitzer next to it. And in the Confederate photos, sure enough, this is a howitzer that's been knocked over by the gun carriage of a Columbiad headed down the steps. So it was really cool being able to match that up with the story and know exactly which corner of the fort it's on, how the guns are lying, and
Bobby, do you recognize these boulders?
Yes, the Devil's Den.
And this is Smith's Battery coming into position. And now if you come to Gettysburg, you can't get to the Devil's Den. They have it roped off, but I'm not sure for how long. This is Joshua Chamberlain and his brother Tom. You can see the mustaches. So this is the 20th Maine.
Yep, so they're on the spur of Little Round Top. And then our diorama shows the rest of the hill as well. So yes, we've finished the 20th Maine and we're gradually working our way down the rest of Colonel Vincent's brigade. And the Confederates mirroring them, attacking.
Yeah, you can see people throughout, or cats.
First.
And you've put all these rocks from pictures, so this is as pretty accurate as you're going to get.
Yeah, there are 2,600 rocks on here based off of photos of the battlefield.
Wow.
This diorama really makes me appreciate battlefield preservation though, because there are some photos from shortly after the battle into the early 1900s, but for the most part I was relying on photos that we took on the actual hill, and so it's just nice being able to go out there and, you know, get photos of the actual rocks.
And guys, here in probably, well, end of May, the only way you're going to see Little Round Top's to come here, because you can't get on it.
Yes.
This is as close as you're going to get. It's going to be roped off.
Yep. So it's incentive for us to finish the ground cover and make some more progress on it. But yes, the rocks are done, and the troops are getting roughed in, so you can see what it looked like.
That is so cool. Here's some neat ones. There's General Hancock.
Yeah, so she
George Custer on the horse, and the Grim Reaper. This scene is from the Trossel Farm. A lot of stuff to look at here. What did you tell me this was again?
So this one would be our first to scale diorama that we made. We made it back in '99. This is the 54th Massachusetts attacking the battery of Wagner down in Charleston Harbor. They're the first black regiment to fight. Colonel Shaw really wanted them to lead the charge, which is the place of honor, leading a charge. And he wanted to do that just so that he could prove that his men could fight as well as white soldiers. He ends up getting killed in the attack, and the regiment lost about half their number, but they did prove that they could fight, and Lincoln credits the black troops with helping win the war because it's a whole new chunk of manpower to tap into and outlast the South.
This is a scene from East Cavalry Field. Jeb Stuart, George Custer. Some fighting. Here's a different one. Here are the cats getting their picture taken with their mascot, a dog. Don't see that. There he is, taking a picture. So if you want to pick up some merchandise, they have shirts here for sale. And this is what I think is cool. They have a book. You can pick that book up on Amazon.
Yep.
And some puzzles. Coffee mugs, all kind of stuff. What's funny though, when I came in here today, had all these cats, I didn't see a live cat, I saw a dog.
These are some that are ready to bake. We use Gulpy 3, which is a polymer clay that you can bake in the oven, or in this case we use our toaster oven. So these will end up in the little domes that we sell. So the top comes off and glue them down. And yeah.
A lot of time involved. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we decided to end this vlog in the peach orchard. Now, even though Bobby doesn't like cats, how did you enjoy Civil War tales?
I did enjoy it. I was just amazed of how little each one of those cats were. Some of them were so tiny. I was telling John, I don't know how they painted those or even were able to do anything because they were so small. And then of course they had the bigger ones with the horses and stuff. But I know a lot of work and time went into those. And when we went to the little round top section, she had told us that they looked at pictures and they went up to little round top so they would know where to put each rock. That is exactly where those rocks are placed. So that's a lot of time, a lot of history. She was very knowledgeable, wasn't she?
Need her on our trivia team, don't we, for Gettysburg?
Yeah, I wanted to give Rebecca a shout out and tell her thank you for going over every little section with us. It's her and her sister Ruth that have done the little cat details, and they were very nice. Yeah,
just everything, not just the figurines, the trees, the smoke coming out of the
guns look like
ironclads. Yeah, I mean, just everything. And the friendly dog in there, if you hear some chomping going on, he was chewing on, or she was chewing on a bone. So it was a great experience in there. $6.50. I think you guys need to come support this. This is a local. Let's keep these things in Gettysburg. Don't let these, I guess, roadside attractions is what I call them. Don't let them close up.
And also, I wanted to say my favorite thing of that whole experience, there were no real cats in there. But if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe.
Yeah, so until we meet again,
J
and B have left the building.